Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to show you a new feature on our Precinct Development app that lets you import shapefiles into the platform to create your layouts. Okay, so just come onto the Victor platform, victor.ai. So just to remember that our app is on trial for till the end of this month, most likely to the end of the year. But yeah, just feel free to come onto Victor to have a go. All right, so to find the app, you just go to the apps gallery, and this is it over here. It's called the Precinct Development App. And here it is. So just read through this. Make sure you watch out the first two tutorials, quick start and advanced. And over here on the generate tab is where you make your layout. You get to understand our roadmap, and also please give us some feedback. Okay, so what I have to do now is go to the generate tab. So the new feature I want to show you is this one here, where you can now import your shapefiles, as I mentioned. But before I show you that, let me show you the structure of the shapefile folder. Hi there. So I'm going to be importing these 3 zip files into the app. I'm just going to be showing you the structure of those files in this segment of the tutorial. So I'm going to double click on this one. So as you can see, within this zip file there are about 6 files here. So this one here is the shapefile itself. I think no, this is the SHX file. This is the actual shapefile itself. CPG file, DBF, PRJ, QMD. So only 4 of them are important. The SHX, the SHP file, the PRJ file, and also I think the DBF file. But if you get 6, just zip them together and upload it. The app will accept it. Just make sure all the information is there, because if it's not complete, your shapefile is not going to get displayed on the app. All right, so very important, because each of these files has a functionality. I know the PRJ file contains the coordinate information. The SHP actually contains the geometry itself, and the others also serve some certain functions. So it's very important to keep that in mind. Okay, same thing with the other shapefiles that are for movement routes. This one is for the actual boundary itself. The naming of the shapefile doesn't matter. Just make sure it has the right information for the element you're trying to create on the app. All right, let's get back to the app. All right, we're back. Just so you know, by default, Cape Town is set as the default location of the app. So when you load your shapefile and it doesn't show up on the map, just go to where you set it up to be, and it should be there if it has been set up correctly. Okay, so now let's just head to the generate tab and click on this drop down. Okay, and then you click on this blue cloud button, and then click on that as well, or you can just click here as well. And then head to the folder that contains your shapefile. Okay, so mine is under my downloads and there. Okay, and these are the 3 shapefiles I mentioned earlier that have been zipped with all the necessary files. So when you export it from your GIS software, it usually releases. QGIS gave me about 6, and I just zipped them together, and then I'm using them for the app. All right. So I'm just going to drag, and I'm going to select all of those, and I say open. All right, and then I'm just going to make sure the site boundary is highlighted, because that is what I'm trying to load now. And I'll say save selection. Okay, then when it loads, okay, if it loads correctly, it's going to show you the site area. It's going to tell you that the site is compliant. And it's going to give you an estimated runtime. The runtime is not really accurate as yet. It's actually much faster than this, so don't be too worried about the amount of minutes showing there. That will be fixed later on. But yeah, so just make sure this is the most important one. site area is compliant. The other way to tell if the site area is going to work is if it shows up on the map. So let's go find this. So to find your site, we've made sure that there's an actually a pin, but you would know where your site is. But just to make sure, just in case you don't know where the shapefile is from, it just shows it gives you a pin so you can easily just locate it on the map. Okay, so this is an area in Belgium, in a remote area in Belgium. So I'm just going to use this as the test case. Remember, on the map, you can actually just use a satellite view as well. So it doesn't have to be just a plain map that I had previously. Okay, but just for clarity, I'm going to head back. Okay, so now I want to add the other layer. I have a green zone, so I'm just going to add that as well. So there's input for the green area. So let's just let that load. And if you've loaded all 3 of the files previously, all the files you needed previously, they will also show up in this drop down. So just click here and then it will show up. Okay, so then I'm just going to add my green area and wait for it to load. Please be patient with the load. It is doing quite a lot of reprojection in the background. So if you have a very complex polygons and complex shapes, it will take time to load. But as a rule, I would say keep things very simple. So if this is a straight edge, mostly, don't add too many points, because that actually won't help the run. It will not help the runtime, and the layout won't come out correctly, because the parking generator will take all those points as corners, right? And that won't look particularly good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, since I've loaded my green area, as you can see, I'm going to go to the movement route and load my movement route. Okay, just click on that and let it load, and then get the movement route and just wait for it to show up on the map as well. Okay, it showed up. It's going to show up soon. The app is busy processing it. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're going to have 2 movement routes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, don't forget you have other options here, a lot of parameters to change the parking dimensions. Okay, the parking widths, the parking lengths, rotation, the pattern, so many parameters to play with. You've got here the angle, 1 or 2-way parking, 1-way eye width, so many. Just have a look. All right, so now we can run it. I'm going to run it and I'll let you know how long it takes. All right, okay, so that finished in about 4 minutes. Yeah, just so you know, this will be shortened to at least half. The time it takes will be cut down by half. If you notice that dialog box that shows up, the progress bar that shows up, the run happens twice. It's because of something on the back end I still have to fix. But yeah, the runtime will definitely be cut down by half. Okay, so we'll get some quicker speeds soon. All right, so now this is the layout. If you're happy with the pattern, you're happy with the count of parking spots you get in the outputs, you can then go ahead and export to Revit. Okay, Revit and Dynamo. So if you use Dynamo, you can easily take it to other software packages that support Dynamo, like Civil 3D, Fusion. I don't know if you'll ever want to put this on Fusion, but yeah, any Autodesk product that uses Dynamo can, receive the information here if you know how to use Dynamo. So we can take this, just download the JSON file for import into Dynamo and Revit. Okay, I'm just going to click that and let it run. So this run will take about half the time it took to create the layout, because the layout runs twice, essentially, as I explained earlier. Okay, So I'll just let you know how long that took. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to save this as create elements. All right, and then let's create it on Revit. Great. Okay, before we go off to make the elements on Revit, I just thought it was important to let you know that to do so, you need to get the support files at the bottom of this video. But I'm just going to show you where it is on our quick start tutorial. Okay, so in the quick start tutorial, if you just head to the description, there are support files over here. So I'm just going to double open it up there. So you need the Revit family, right? The Revit parking family, and you also need the Dynamo scripts. Okay, and you need the Spring Nose package. And if you don't have Revit family templates, you'll also need that. But just read this README. It's also very descriptive and tells you what needs to happen to get it all set up. Okay, but feel free to reach out to me at design@archithera.com if you do not know how to set this up, and I'll help you out. Okay, and also the sample shapefiles if you want to make sample tests runs with the shapefiles on the app. Okay, all right, let us go into Revit. Okay, now we're in Revit. So all I have to do now is open the Dynamo player. Okay, the Dynamo player is now loaded. Okay, so if you've loaded your scripts correctly, you should see this create Revit elements script and also the create sandbox elements script. So that comes with the Google Drive downloads I mentioned previously. So this one helps you make the elements in Revit, and this one will help you make the elements in Dynamo Sandbox. Okay, so let me just click on this one here. All right, so if you have a building mass in the layout you made, you can give the family that it's going to be imported as a name, give the family, the building mass family, a category, and also a floor type. The floor types represent the islands offset above the ground level. And the JSON file is the file I downloaded from the app previously. And you can select the level you want the parking to be placed on. And you also need to give it the parking family that was in the Google Drive. You also just need to load that in here, and also the family template to make the building masses. If you don't have them, that's also in the Google Drive folder. Okay. All right. So all I have to do now, since I've loaded the JSON file, is to just run, and the layout should appear in our Revit environment. Okay, there we go. That's our layout. Full automation of parking layouts done in a matter of minutes. Yeah, so I do think this adds a lot of value. So please just give us some feedback. Let us know what we can improve on. That is not, just look at our roadmap as well, because we have quite an extensive roadmap just showing you where we're trying to take this. Yeah, thank you. Enjoy.